Devaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Narinanetraya Venuvadya Vinodine Radha Narasudapana Shaline Vanamarine Mahabhava Swarupasvam Krishna Priya Varyasi Prema Bhakti Prade Devi Shiradhika Tvam Namostute. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text number 59. Vishayamini vartante niraharasya dehinaha rasam varajam rasopyasya param drashtva nivartate. Translation and purport by His Loving Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The embodied soul may be restricted from a sense enjoyment, though the test for sense objects remains. But seizing such engagements by experiencing a higher test is fixed in consciousness. Purport. Unless one is transcendentally situated, it is not possible to cease from sense enjoyment. The process of restriction from a sense enjoyment by rules and regulation is something like restricting a diseased person from certain types of eatables. The patient, however, neither likes such restrictions nor loses his taste for eatables. Similarly, sense restrictions by some spiritual process like Ashtanga Yoga in the matter of yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyana, etc. is recommended for less intelligent persons who have no better knowledge. It will like a big slap on their Ashtanga Yogas.
Yeah.
Huh? Less intelligent. But one who has tasted the beauty of the Supreme Lord Krishna in the course of his advancement in Krishna consciousness no longer has a taste for a dead material things. Therefore, restrictions are there for the less intelligent neophytes in the spiritual advancement of life. But such restrictions are only good if one actually has a taste for Krishna consciousness. When one is actually Krishna conscious, he automatically loses his taste for pale things. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guroho Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guruna Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Vishaya Vinivartante Niraharasya Dehinaha Rasavarajam Rasapyasya Param Drashtva Nivartate. The embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment. Though the taste for sense object remains, but seizing such an engagement by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. So do you remember any example for this?
Eating food outside.
Going to Flagstaff and eating khichdi in the room.
You might eat very opulent food, but somehow you don't feel good after that. Or you saw
That's one consideration. Do you remember any story about this? There are so many.
again, this sense of place.
Right now, it happened in front of you.
Oh, yeah. Sweet versus fruits.
Yeah,
Both are good.
but still that higher taste. There is a nice story. If you know, there is one Alwar. It's known as a Vipranarayan. Have you heard about? No? Vipranarayan. In Sri Rangam, there used to be one Brahmana. And he was very much attached to their lordship. He used to make a garlands for their lordship. And he is totally absorbed. Totally means totally absorbed in his services. He had a nice garden. He used to maintain that. In garden only he had his one small hermitage or kuti where he used to stay. And those days there used to be one Nagar Kanya. And she was extremely beautiful. She was known as a Deva Devi. Means Deva Devi. Devi means like a most beautiful woman. That's why in the Vedic culture, any woman other than mother, they used to call as a Devi. That's a symbolic. Oh, beautiful lady, like that. And she was a Deva Devi, considered by the Devas, she was considered as a Devi, means she was so beautiful. And she was so much puffed up of her beauty. So whenever she used to come for darshan, like people used to give a first VIP, very, very important person. So automatically they used to give a wave to her. And they were like enamored by her love, her beauty. But every day, she was not happy with seeing so many people are greeting her with so much lust in eyes rather than awe and reverence. But one person never looked at her. So one day with her, that pride, she was telling to her associate that, look how people are slave of my beauty. And he said, don't have that pride. Because there is one person in this area only. He has never seen you till that. You are coming for years together here, but he has not given a single glance on you. She said, it's not possible. Then he is not man if he has not seen you. She said, no, he's totally different person. And she said, who is he? Let me see. Then she showed him. Look at that corner. One person is sitting there and making garlands. And she looked at him. He was so effulgent. Because it's like morning we were discussing about. The sannyasa means totally absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Mind is totally absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And he was like that. And he was quite young, handsome, Brahmana, fully dedicated for the Lord's service. So she took a vow. One day I will make this person slave of my beauty. And he, as he is chanting always Ranganatha, he will chant my name. And that's it. She took that vow. And next day, when she found it out, she made all the inquiry because women are very sharp. And if they're beautiful, they are more cunning and intelligent. So she sent someone to get information about him. So somebody went and he took all the information about him. And next day, early in the morning, like before Brahma Murta even, she was present there in the garden. And with a melodious voice, she was singing the praise of Lord Ranganath. And when Vipranara, he entered into the garden, he heard that sweet voice. And same songs, what he used to sing every day. So he said, who is that? He just heard it. He said, it's woman, so better not to. So he was engaged. Second day, third day, same thing happened. Fourth day, all of a sudden, he heard that that same lady is, rather than singing, all of a sudden she started crying. So he got concerned. Somebody is singing the Lord's glory, and why she is crying then? Then he went back, and then she started shouting, actually, snake bite me. And he saw that there is a blood stain on her foot. So immediately he said, okay, let's go. My hermitage is there only, I can. So he took her there. As soon as he took her there, she felt unconscious. Then he served her. So, as Bhagavatam says, taking service from women and giving service to women both entangles a man. And this is what happened with him. Unknowingly, he developed some compassion, and that compassion, when it turned into what they call infatuation, he never came to know. And it's like she then requested him, I'm alone, nobody's there to give me shelter, so please give me shelter. So he said, okay. So he gave shelter, they started staying, and there was a gap in his service then, actually. And one day so happened, when she came to know this person has gone now. He's no more Ranga Swami's devotee. He is devotee of Devadev. That's it. Lord tolerates everything, but he never tolerates pride and offense toward the devotee. So he played a trick. So she ran away. All of a sudden, one day she disappeared, and he got so much infatuated. He's like a crazy man. He started searching for her here and there, and people were astonishing. Whom he is calling for? He's the same person, Vipranarayan, and he is calling for some woman. And who is that? Devi. How is it possible? This person never went out of temple, and how he knows about Devi? Where we met her. And people, they started having their own assumptions. And here he got so mad that Lord Ranganath took a form of his servant, took all his jewelry, and went to the Devi's place. And he said, I'm the servant of my master. And by seeing all that opulence, she said, who is your master? Because she is more interested into the money than the master. So she asked, who is that person? And he said, Vipranarayan. She said, what? How come? From where he got all these things? I stayed with him. I know what he is. He said, don't say like that. You don't know anything about him. He is my master, and I am his humble servant. And he wants to meet you. So please give your appointment. He wants you to come and see you. She took all that jewels and kept it inside. And she said, I'm free. Whenever he likes, let him come. Then he said, send someone and ask that person that you have sent that person. Don't mention that I have come and asked for. Better you should tell him that you wanted to meet him. That's why you. Then that person came, took him, bathed him nicely, gave him nice clothes, fed him nicely. Then they sat in the secluded place and started discussing. And then he said, where were you? Why you are gone? Why you left me? And she said, just forget. I wanted to get you back to my place, and I was scared that I don't wanted to reveal my identity. So now I wanted to reveal you, who am I? I said, whoever it may be. But now my heart is stolen by you. So I'm yours and you are mine. That's it. I don't know anything else. Then she fed him nicely. He had nice food and he slept. Meanwhile, Pujaris came to know that nothing is there. The whole treasury has emptied. So Pujaris. So they went to king. King said, let's go, find it out. It's not mine. It's large jewelry. And wherever it may be, it must be that person must be a very sure that he has taken it from the last place. So they started, the word came out and spread out, and people started hearing it. And same time, this crazy woman, she took some of the money and she wanted to sell it to get. So she sent her servant somewhere, and that jewelry went to the goldsmith. Saw that, and he said, wait. I will tell you how much it costs. Then the servant thought that it must be a very valuable. Actually, it is, because it's from Vaikuntha. That was the first deity from Brahma. It was the first deity in the creation, the Ranganath. And so the whatever ornaments they are having, that is from the beginning of the creation. So nobody knows what's the value of that. But they came to know this is the jewelry which king is looking for. So they called the king's person and escorted the servant. And then he came to Devdevi's place. And then they asked Devdevi, from where you got? She said, he has given. They looked at him. Who is he? He's Vipranara. Then they thought that what lust can do. See, this person who was so dedicated to Lord, he was fully Ranga conscious, and now he has stolen the Lord jewelry to give it to this prostitute. Oh man. Then that news went to the king, and king was also very devoted to the Lord. So when he heard that, and on top of that name of Vipranarayan, he said, no way. There must be a transcendental interference. No one can do that. Then they asked her, who gave you exactly? Tell me. Vipranarayan can't do this. Then she said, yeah, he sent this with some servant. And they asked, who was that servant? He was a blackish blue and very handsome, was wearing. As she started describing, she herself realized, my goodness, what I have done. I was so much enamored with the lowly things that I forgot that Lord was standing in front of me. And he came as a servant for this person. Then what must be this person in the eyes of Lord? And Vipranarayan, when he overheard that Lord Ranganath came as his servant to satisfy his desire to meet this prostitute, he came to his senses, just got up from there and ran towards the temple, started crying incessantly in front of the Ranganath. As he was crying, Ranganath appeared to him and said, no worries. I used you to show people that even at this advanced stage also, how mind can get captivated. So one has to be very careful at each and every step. And here, that woman who was so much into her beauty and so much into money, she shaved her head, put a mendicant's clothes, and she came to Vipranarayan and she prayed to him, accept me as your dasi. I would like to spend my whole life to serve you because I have offended. So this is what Rasovarjam Rasopyasya Param Drashtvani. As she realized the higher taste, what is there, what that opulence that Vipranarayan possessed, he possessed the Lord himself. So he has that higher taste. So it's better to go for his service. And she gave up all the lower taste and Vishyani Vartante Niraharasya Dehi. Rasovarjam Rasopyasya Param Drashtvani. And she went there. With Ranganath, there is another story. Have you heard about Dhanurdas? Dhanurdas. See, Ramanujacharya, once he went to take bath in Kaveri. As he was taking bath, he saw that one person, very heavily built, strong, stout, very handsome, and looks very opulent also. He was carrying the umbrella for his dearmost girlfriend, not a wife, girlfriend. And he was looking at her eyes, looking at her face and walking backward. Everyone was laughing at him, but no one dared to tease him because they know he's a wrestler, very qualified and well-known, renowned wrestler. So it's better to not to do anything. But while going, Ramanuja saw him and he asked Dasharathi, just go and ask him to meet me. And as soon as he went and he said that Yativarya wants to meet you, as soon as he heard it, he gave that umbrella to someone else towards Ramanujacharya. So you can understand, those times the culture was so prevalent and people were having such a intense respect or extreme respect for sannyasis. Even though he was engrossed in seeing her beauty, he gave that up immediately. He ran towards him and said, how come you want to meet me? What is that? And he said, Everybody is laughing at you. Why? Why you are behaving like this? He said, Yadiraj, I am a slave of beauty, and her eyes are so beautiful. They have stolen my heart. Then Yatiraj asked him, if I show you something more beautiful than this, what you will do? Immediately and instantly he replied, I will be slave of that beauty forever. Yes, are you sure? Will you keep your words? He said, definitely. Just follow. So he went along with him. Then Sri Ramanujacharya came in front of Ranganath and prayed their lordship. Oh my Lord, your eyes are so beautiful. Whoever has a problem with a lust, if they look at your eyebrows, their lust gets washed off in the heart. And I brought a person for you. And I request you to please show him your beauty. And Lord agrees. Because before Ramanujacharya advented to this world, he put one condition to the Lord. I will go. As you say that I should go and preach, I will preach. But whomever I send, you have to accept. No questions, no cross questions. If you are agree with that, then I will. You may be the Lord of two-thirds of the spiritual world. But if I go down, I will be the Lord of material world. Whomever I send, you have to just accept. No excuses for that. So here he is asking to Ranganath, please show your beauty. So Ranganath say, okay, get him. So as soon as he came, they asked Pujari to lit up a lamp and offer it to the Mukhamandala of their lordship. So as soon as Dhanurdas, he saw beautiful face of their lordship, he was gone. He was stunned like a statue. Water from the eyes started shooting actually. That's the one of the ecstasy. It's like a shooting down. He was not able to understand what's happening to him. After that, he literally gave up everything. The same woman for whom he was a mad, she became mad for him now. Then Shiva Ramacharya asked them, they got married, then they moved, gave up everything, whatever opulences he had, he gave it up and he started following him. So one day there was a fight between sannyasis and some brahmacharis for because somebody misplaced few things and they were always having a doubt in their mind. Why our Guru Maharaj is giving so much importance to this person? Why always they call for anything to Dhanurdas? Even though he is a Kayastha, we are born Brahmins. On top of that, we are sannyasis and brahmacharis, following so much Naishtika thing. Why is so attached to him? And Sripad Ramancha overheard about that. So he asked one of his brahmachari that when all they go out for bhiksha, exchange all their whatever belongings they have. And when they came back, they saw that their things are not there. So they started fighting. So whoever had that doubt and assumption about Dhanurdas, specifically he called those people and he asked, now go to Dhanurdas' house. And before that he asked his one of disciple to go and call Dhanurdas here. And when Dhanurdas reached here, he asked them, we should go and steal away whatever he has in the house. So here they were wondering, now we got a chance. Let's see what happens with this person. So we will minimize his position in front of our Guru. So they went. They stole everything, whatever they have. They saw that she is having more opulent ornaments on her body than the whatever in the shelf or etc. So they were planning to take that also. So she pretended as she is in a dense sleep. So they took it out from one side. So she saw that these are all my god brothers actually. There must be some problem in the matha, and they need, so that's why they are doing this. She never shouted or so. To just cooperate them, she turned around so that they can take from other side also. But they thought that she will wake it up and there will be a chaos, so they ran. They brought everything, gave it to Shripad Raman. Then he asked them, sit in the corner. And then he asked Dhanudas, go. Now our discussion has not suited. Dhanudas went. He went and he saw his wife. He said, why you are looking like this? Half decorated and halfly you're having nothing. And she said, actually, few brahmacharis came and they were taking out everything. Then he said, why you have not given this also? He said, actually, I wanted to give it them. That's why I turned around and they left. And he said, okay, remove that everything. So she took it out. And he said, anything else is there, just take it out. So she brought whatever she has, wherever she has kept. She packed it in one cloth. And he brought that. And he put it in front of the Ramanacharya. And these brahmacharis were there. Then Ramanacharya asked, what is this, Dhanura? He said, actually, this is some donation, actually. I wanted to give. He said, no, 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 no. Tell me the reason behind this. Why you are bringing this? He said, open it. And they saw that everything is half. Where's the other one? Then he can't lie also. Then he said, this is what happened. Then he called that brahmachari. He said, do you need a more explanation? Whatever happened in the morning and what are happening now? How these things happen? This is again an example of this same verse. Vishayanu vartante niraharasya dehi param drashtva nivartate. So if you get that higher test, so you don't have hankerings for like now Vibhu is out 2 years, 2.5, 3,
No, almost 3.
3. If you give a tricycle now her, she will be so happy now. Huh? And if I give one tricycle to you, will you be happy with that? You will think I'm a fool, what I'm giving you. But when you were of that age, you would have loved that. Because as you get the higher test, one time what you think of more precious, that also goes away. So same way, if someone dovetails everything in Krishna's service, then automatically the value of that thing also increases. And it becomes the higher test. And then there is no more hankering for lower test. And as in this purport Prabhupada says, these restrictions, vidhi and nishedha, is for whom? For the neophytes, not for the devotees. Because devotee does not need all this vidhi and nishedhas. Because they are so absorbed, they don't think anything other than the Krishna. They are so much enamored with the Lord's thought, they forget everything about their own sense enjoyment. That's the glory of devotional service. And if you are in the association of devotees, then it helps a lot to imbibe that higher taste. That's why it is said that sadhu sangha, sarva shastraka, lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi. What that siddhi you get? That higher taste. Hare Krishna. So,
Like the Narayan, he was alone, right? Probably he didn't have devotee association. That's why he's telling the track easily. And also, secondly, even in Krishna consciousness, we are like neophytes in the beginning, right? But that's why we have the Vaidishadana Bhakti. So that's rules and regulations. But at what point should we even think about like the spontaneous love now? Like we cannot even think of it. We always
see how you realize that your stomach is full.
when you get word, you feel it.
So, can you express in that words? Who knows first that now my belly is full?
Yeah, I know.
It's you. So same way in devotional service, who will judge that? Whether you have developed that stage or not? It's you. Because automatically the taste for the lower thing, that goes away, that fades away. As it is said, pale things, it don't become palatable for you. You can just try to go back and find it out. That few things, they are like an infatuation few years before. Now you don't care for that. Nothing, it's going on also, it's okay, man. Time pass. I don't want to waste my time. That means you are making some development.
Slow process.
It's gradual but steady. It happens. I tell you, when I was in the beginning, like the first few months, we used to have our weekly program on Saturday. And that time, Saregamapa, that Antakshari program was. Antakshari, not Saregamapa. That was Antakshari. Anu Kapoor, he used. And I was so much infatuated with that. Even when I used to go for the class, I used to sit near the window. Because the next door, they used to keep their volume loud so I can hear. And as days went on, like it took me 3 months actually. I started chanting immediately first day. But to get the test, a long time. It's like almost like 3 months. Then automatically I went and asked them to, can you just minimize the volume because it's disturbing. And previously it was like,
Yeah. Increase.
yeah, like, but that happens.
Yeah, I mean,
You can realize your own self. No need to tell someone else.
like I still, most of the times I don't think about cricket, but suddenly there's India match, right? I'm so curious to check the score and see the highlights. That taste is still there.
So gradually it happens. But be in the process,
Yeah.
things will happen.
I mean, it's much better than being in the process and having that rather than just having that, right? At least slowly.
Definitely. Man.
Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful passage. So you heard this, you studied this book or
Which one?
the pastime Ramanujaya. I've heard of that. I mean, I didn't know the name. I've heard that pastime.
That is
I-
Dhananjay.
And also, we hadn't heard the second part.